Hi everybody. So I have been telling a lot of you that I would put together a base face tutorial. So that is what I'm doing for you today. I'm going to show you how I go through doing my basic makeup every day. So this is nothing fancy, just kind of an everyday look, okay? First, you're going to want to make sure that your face is ready to go. So I use our Dream Clean gentle foaming cleanser in the morning, and then I do skin therapy for moisturizer with a drop of One Drop Wonder. I feel like that kind of helps with like any redness or puffiness that I might have. Next, I'm going to use our First Base Makeup Primer. So give it a good shake first. I'm gonna spray that all over my face. It really helps to kind of just get your skin ready for what's about to happen to it. Okay. So for applying foundation, I use our Blenderful makeup sponge. I just feel like it helps to apply really evenly. You're going to want to make sure that this is a little damp. Now, I like to wet mine with water. Some people wet theirs with our setting spray. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. Now, I will show everybody that this is my foundation palette. Sorry, it's kind of messy. So I have foundation, and then I have my under eye and face concealer, and then a concealer that's lighter that I will use as a highlighter. So I'm going to show that to you as well. And actually, before we get started with that, the first thing I'm going to do is take my mascara, and I'm going to stick it under my armpit, and I will tell you why in a little bit. So what you're going to do is kind of just get your sponge in there on your foundation, and then just kind of get it on your face in a couple areas, and then you're just going to kind of start blending. Now this foundation, you can build upon it depending on how you want your coverage, meaning you can add layers. Okay, so if you wanted a lighter coverage, you're just going to do the one layer. If you wanted even more coverage, then you can do, well, as many as you want. But I will tell you that it provides really good coverage regardless of how much you want to put on, and doesn't feel like you're wearing a lot of makeup, which I love. So I'm just going to finish in my little hand mirror so I can make sure that I'm getting everything. Okay. I am looking a little extra tired today for some reason. Okay. So that is going to be my base. Next, I'm going to go in and do under my eyes. Now, I just like to use my finger, and your under eye area is super sensitive. So by using your ring finger, you're actually using less force because it's like the weakest finger. So I have heard that is the best finger to use when applying concealer. Now you can use a brush if you like. I'm actually looking at investing in a concealer brush because it's really not great to be touching your face so much, as we are learning, hearing, and seeing, right? So Limelife has really great professional grade makeup brushes, and I will be purchasing one of those very soon. Okay, I also like to put a little concealer on my eyelids in case I wanted to apply any eyeshadow, and I feel like it also kind of just brightens things up a little bit. So I'm going to go back in with my concealer and cover up any blemishes that I have. See that coverage? It's looking good, right? Looking good so far. Okay, so next step, I use our Perfect powder. So that comes in another thing. We do have bundles that have 3 powders on, or you can combine blushes and powders, which I think is really cool. And I will show you mine in a minute, but for now, then I go over my whole face with our finishing powder, or excuse me, our Perfect powder. That kind of just gives it like a flawless finish, your foundation. Flawless finish for foundation. Okay. Okay. Next, I do a contour. I have heard from so many people that they feel like their face is too round to contour or too square. I'm telling you, no matter what face shape you have, you can contour, and I can show you how. So definitely hit me up if you want those tips. So this is my blush palette, and I use a bronzer for contour. Some people prefer a cream contour. It's totally up to your preference. But for me, I'm going to show you how I contour my face. So I go right kind of below the cheek. Right below the cheek. I know this looks crazy right now, but you'll see. I do my hairline. I have a big forehead, so we like to really kind of contour that. Now, the reason that we contour is because it creates shading in our face and will make certain areas appear slimmer, or kind of just give it more definition. If you're not going for a slim look, that's fine. So I also do the sides of my nose. Okay. So if you want to think of your face, if you have an oval shaped face, you're kind of want to do like kind of like a 3. Okay. Simple. And then we just blend, because we don't want like hard lines on our face. That looks weird. And you're going to blend down into your neck from your jawline. Now again, there are specific brushes for contouring and blending, but whatever works for you is what works for you. Okay. So after we do our contour, I like to do blush. I am a blush everyday kind of girl. I think today I'm going to go with the lighter. This is our blushing shade. How I apply blush, you guys, is I kind of like smile a little bit, and I get some on the apple of my cheek and then kind of blend up. Because we don't want to look like clowns here. And I'm totally just realizing that I never blended the contour on my nose. That's pretty obvious. So we definitely want to get that blended in, because we don't want to go out of the house looking like we have makeup inappropriately placed all over our face. Okay, so looking good so far, right? Okay, Next, I do highlighter. Now, I use my highlighter that's actually one of our concealers. This is shade 0. And I just do the very tops of my cheek. Again, I will be getting a brush at some point because you're not supposed to touch your face. If I feel like I need to open my eyes a little bit, I will go underneath my eyes just a tad. I do the bridge of my nose. So remember, we shaded in the sides, so highlighting is like, that's the part that we want people to see. A little right here on my Cupid's bow, and a little down here. Now you're gonna, again, blend that. Now, personally, you can do more of your forehead, but my forehead is really big, so I don't want to draw a lot of attention to it, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm just checking out in my smaller mirror here. Next, I use a translucent powder. So that's kind of just going to hold everything into place on my face. It's also going to absorb any oil that might creep up throughout the day. I hate when I get home at the end of the day, well, when I was working, and feel like I'm just, like all my makeup has slicked off of me. So this is our translucent powder. Okay, so done and done. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am an eyebrow pencil girl. And currently, I am out of my eyebrow pencil. So I'm waiting for that to arrive. And in the meantime, we're just going to improvise, okay? And I'll show you what I mean. And I forgot, I also put some highlighter under my brow bone. The good thing about this highlighter, or anything really, if you feel like you have too much on your face, you guys, you could just blend it and it'll look the way that it's supposed to. So I think what I'm gonna use today for my brows is a brown eyeshadow. Which is a hack for if you ever run out of brow pencil, if you fill in your brows. But I'm telling you guys, I only discovered filling in my brows probably like less than 10 years ago. And what a difference it makes for your face. Like, I never did it. And then my roommate that I was living with at the time, that was the most important makeup kind of trick that she used, and then I started doing it, and now I feel like it's so noticeable if I don't fill in my brows. See? This is actually a little bit darker than I like to use, but I'm not leaving the house, so whatever. Okay. So this is almost it for my base face. So what I'm gonna do before I apply any mascara is I'm going to spray myself with our setting spray. I use the Time Setter. We also have the Oil Strike, which if you have oily skin, I highly recommend. The reason we're doing this at this point is because our mascara is not waterproof. So you want to do this before you add on your mascara, or you can just like cover your face. So I try to remember to do it before. So again, we're going to give that a good shake. Spray, spray, spray. So everything will stay in place up to 16 hours, which is a crazy amount of time, right? Now, I want everybody to see my eyelashes as they are. Kind of boring, right? I am an eyelash curler, so I'm going to use that first. I'm going to give you guys a pro tip. If you heat up your eyelash curler, it's going to make your brows look crazy. So just a little blow with your blow dryer. For the sake of sound, I'm not going to do that today, but I am going to curl them. I can't wait for you to see what this mascara does to your lashes. It's crazy. Okay. If you are going to heat up your eyelash curler with your blow dryer, just make sure it's not too hot. You don't want to burn your eyes. That would be really bad. Okay, so now our mascara. Remember when we stuck that under our armpit? The reason we did that is because we want to heat this up a little bit. It's a lot easier to apply if it's warm. Okay. Also, if you are a mascara user, I want you to make sure that you're not pumping your mascara to get more mascara on the wand. You want to like swirl it, okay? Because if you're pumping it, more air gets into it and then more bacteria and all that bad stuff. So just make sure you're swirling, not pumping. Okay, you guys see the difference already of how beautiful this mascara is. I'm also going to let you know that the mascara is also buildable. So if you want them even longer and fuller, you're going to let it dry for maybe 20 to 30 seconds, and then you're going to add another coat, okay? I usually just stick with one because I think that that's good enough for my everyday look. Now, if you're a person who wears eyeshadow, eyeliner, and you do your whole eyes every day, you want to make sure that you're putting your eyes on before you put the rest of your face on. The reason is because a lot of the color in the eyeshadow will flake onto your face, and you want to be able to brush that off. If you don't, it's totally fine, because you can always just take your Blenderful and blend away any mistakes that might have occurred. So last but not least, I like to do a lip. I think today I might do a lipstick. I really like this pink color for spring. This is number 203. So I'm just gonna add a little of this. Love it. And top it off with some gloss. I love our lip gloss, you guys. It smells so good, and it really hydrates your lips. It's not the gloss that's like sticky and makes your lips all flaky. Ta-da! All right, from drab to fab. You can get that look in literally 5 to 7 minutes. It took me a little longer today just because I was explaining everything. But I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions about contouring or highlighting or your perfect foundation color, of course, let me know. But I hope this was helpful. And let me know what kind of other videos you guys want in terms of makeup. And I am super happy to experiment. So thanks for watching.